Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night? Not because you heard a strange noise, not because you were sick, not because someone called you, but because one single thought suddenly appeared in your mind. Will I really have enough money to retire? It's a question that millions of people over 50 quietly ask themselves. But very few people say it out loud. They tell themselves the same comforting story. I'll figure it out later. I'll figure it out later. I still have time. Everything will probably work out. The problem is, time has a strange way of moving after 50. When you're 25, 10 years feels like forever. When you're 35, retirement still feels far away. But after 50, years don't seem to pass anymore. They disappear. One birthday becomes another. Your children become adults.
Friends begin talking about retirement instead of promotions.
Your body changes. Your priorities change. And one day you suddenly realize, retirement isn't something waiting for you in the distant future. It's standing right outside your front door. That's the moment many people panic. Not because they never worked hard, not because they were irresponsible, but because they believed there would always be more time. Here's something most people never realize.
Running out of money isn't the biggest retirement risk.
Running out of time is. Because money can often be earned again. Time cannot. Every year you delay preparing makes the next year harder.
And that's exactly why so many good people reach retirement feeling anxious instead of excited.
If you're watching this today, maybe you've saved something. Maybe you've saved nothing. Maybe you've worked for 30 years and still wonder if it'll be enough.
Wherever you are, this video isn't here to judge you.
It's here to help you make better decisions starting today. Because retirement isn't only about money, it's about freedom. Freedom to choose where you live. Freedom to spend time with your family. Freedom to say no to a job you no longer enjoy.
Freedom to sleep peacefully without wondering whether one unexpected expense will change everything. Unfortunately, most people spend more time planning a 2-week vacation
than they spend planning the 20 or 30 years they may live after retirement. Think about that for a moment. We compare hotel prices.
We read hundreds of reviews before buying a television. But many people spend less than one afternoon calculating how much money they'll actually need for the rest of their lives. That's not because people are lazy. It's because retirement feels uncomfortable. And our brains naturally avoid uncomfortable conversations.
It's much easier to think about today's grocery bill than to think about the next 20 years. But ignoring retirement doesn't make it disappear.
It only makes the future more expensive. Now here's the good news.
If you're over 50, you are not too late. Let me say that again. You are not too late.
You may not become a millionaire overnight. That's not the goal.
The goal is something much more valuable. To build enough financial security that your future self can breathe easier. And the sooner you start, the more options you'll have. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the biggest retirement mistakes people over 50 make.
Why our brains trick us into making those mistakes. And the simple steps that can dramatically improve your future.
even if you feel like you've started later than everyone else. Because 10 years from now, you'll either be grateful that you started today, or you'll wish you had. The choice begins with what you do after watching this video. Part 2. Why most people over 50 make the same retirement mistake. Before we talk about saving more money, I want to tell you something that may surprise you. The biggest retirement mistake isn't spending too much. It isn't investing in the wrong stock. And it isn't retiring too early. The biggest mistake is believing that you'll deal with it later. Think about it. How many times have you said,
"I'll do it next month"?
after the holidays, when work slows down, I'll start next month. After I pay off this bill. After Christmas. After the kids are settled.
After I get my next raise. Those promises feel harmless.
But they slowly become years. And years become decades. Here's something psychologists have discovered. Our brains are designed to protect us from immediate danger, not future danger. If someone throws a ball at your face, your brain reacts instantly. But if someone tells you that 10 years from now you might not have enough money,
your brain stays calm because it doesn't feel like today's problem. That's why retirement planning is so difficult. The danger is invisible until one day it suddenly becomes very real. Many people believe they need to save huge amounts of money before it's worth starting. That's simply not true. Waiting until you can save a lot usually means you never start at all. Successful retirees rarely begin with perfect plans. They begin with consistent habits. Small decisions, repeated over many years. Imagine two neighbors. Both are 55 years old. Both earn about the same income. The first neighbor says, "It's too late now. Whatever happens, happens." The second neighbor says, "I can't change the past, but I can improve the future." 5 years later, their lives look completely different. Not because one won the lottery, not because one inherited money, but because one decided to act, while the other decided to wait. Waiting always feels comfortable, until the bill finally arrives. There's another mistake that almost nobody talks about. People assume retirement is only about money. It isn't. Retirement is about choices. Can you choose where you live? Can you choose when to stop working? Can you help your children if they need you? Can you visit your grandchildren without worrying about every dollar? Money simply gives you options. Without it, life begins making those choices for you. And here's something I've noticed. The happiest retirees aren't always the richest. They're usually the ones who planned ahead. They know what they spend. They know what they own. And most importantly, they know what kind of life they actually want. That's where we're going next. Because before you can build a retirement plan, you need to understand one simple number. A number that most people have never calculated. And once you know it, everything starts to become much clearer. In the next part, we're going to find that number together. And you may be surprised by how different it is from what you've always believed. Part 3. The number that changes everything. Now let me ask you a simple question. If you stopped working tomorrow, how much money would you actually need every month to live comfortably? Not to become rich. Not to travel around the world.
Just to pay your bills. Buy groceries.
Keep the lights on. Visit your family.
and enjoy a peaceful life? Most people don't know the answer, not because they're bad with money, because they've never been taught to ask the question. Instead, they focus on one giant number.
I need $1 million to retire. Maybe you've heard that before. But here's the truth. Retirement isn't about reaching someone else's number. It's about understanding your number. Imagine two people. One retires with $500,000. The other retires with $2 million. Most people would assume the second person is automatically better off. But that's not always true. If the first person has no debt, lives in a modest home, and spends wisely, they may feel more financially secure than someone with 4 times the money but a much more expensive lifestyle.
That's why your monthly lifestyle matters more than chasing a magical savings goal. Here's a simple exercise. Take a piece of paper. Write down everything you would still need after retirement. Housing,
Food, utilities, healthcare, transportation, insurance, small hobbies, family visits. Now cross out everything you only spend because you're working. Daily commuting, work clothes, business lunches.
some subscriptions you no longer need. Many people are surprised when they do this. Their retirement expenses are often lower than they expected. But then comes the expense that almost everyone underestimates:
Healthcare. As we grow older,
medical costs usually increase. Prescription medications, regular checkups, unexpected treatments.
many retirees don't struggle because they spend too much on entertainment. They struggle because they didn't prepare for healthcare costs. That's why planning isn't about expecting the worst. It's about giving yourself options when life becomes unpredictable. Here's another mistake. People think retirement begins the day they stop working. In reality,
Retirement begins years earlier. Every decision you make today, every dollar you save, every unnecessary expense you avoid,
is quietly building the life your future self will live. Think about that.
the person you'll become 10 years from now is depending on the decisions you make this week.
Not next year. Not someday. This week. And here's the encouraging news. You don't need to solve your entire retirement today.
You only need to take the next step. Because financial security isn't built in one weekend.
It's built through hundreds of small decisions that almost nobody notices. Until one day,
Those small decisions become something remarkable.
peace of mind.
In the next section, we're going to talk about 5 habits that quietly destroy retirement savings.
Most people don't even realize they're doing them. And stopping just one of these habits could make a bigger difference than trying to earn thousands of extra dollars.
Part 4. 5 habits that quietly destroy retirement savings.
Now that you know your number, let's talk about something much more dangerous.
Because the biggest threat to your retirement isn't always a market crash. Sometimes it's the small habits you repeat every single week without noticing.
They don't look dangerous. In fact, most of them feel completely normal. But over 10 or 15 years,
They quietly steal thousands of dollars from your future. Let's look at the first one.
habit number 1. Lifestyle inflation. Have you ever noticed what happens after you get a raise? For a few weeks, you feel richer. Then something strange happens. You buy a nicer phone. You start eating out more often.
Maybe you upgrade your car. You subscribe to another streaming service.
And before long, your paycheck is bigger.
But your savings haven't changed at all. It's called lifestyle inflation, and almost everyone experiences it. The problem isn't earning more money. The problem is allowing every extra dollar to disappear before it has a chance to improve your future.
Here's a simple rule. The next time your income increases, don't spend all of it. Save at least half of the increase before your lifestyle adjusts.
Your future self will barely notice the sacrifice, but they'll absolutely notice the reward.
Habit number 2. Helping everyone except yourself.
This one is especially common after 50. Your children need help.
Your grandchildren need gifts. A friend asks for money.
Someone in the family has an emergency. Your instinct is to help.
And that's a beautiful quality. But here's something difficult to hear. If helping others means sacrificing your own retirement, eventually,
The people you love may end up supporting you instead. Taking care of your future isn't selfish,
it's responsible. The strongest gift you can give your family is becoming financially independent. Habit number 3. Ignoring small monthly expenses. Many people think retirement is destroyed by one big mistake. Usually,
it isn't. It's dozens of small ones.
an unused subscription, extra food deliveries, impulse purchases, memberships you forgot existed.
None of them seem important. But together,
They quietly drain hundreds of dollars every month. Imagine saving just $100 every month. That's $1,200 every year, over 10 years. Without even considering investment growth, that's $12,000. Small leaks sink big ships. Habit number 4. Being afraid to learn. Many people stop learning about money after they leave school. They believe investing is too complicated. Taxes are confusing. Retirement accounts are only for experts. But the truth is, financial knowledge is one of the few things that becomes more valuable as you get older. You don't need to become a financial advisor. You only need to understand enough to make better decisions than you made yesterday. Even one good book, one educational video each week, can completely change the direction of your retirement over time. Habit number 5. Believing it's too late. This may be the most dangerous habit of all. Because once someone believes it's too late, they stop trying, they stop saving, they stop planning, they stop learning. And that's when the real damage begins. Here's the truth. You cannot change what you didn't do in your 40s. You cannot go back and invest 20 years ago, but you still control every decision you make tomorrow morning. And sometimes, the decision you make today can completely change the next 20 years of your life. Don't underestimate the power of a fresh start. Some of the happiest retirees didn't begin early. They simply refused to give up late. Take a moment and ask yourself, which of these 5 habits sound most like you? Don't answer with guilt. Answer with honesty. Because awareness is always the first step toward change. In the next part, we're going to build a simple retirement action plan. No complicated formulas. No confusing financial language. Just clear, practical steps you can start this week to make your future more secure. We've talked about the mistakes. We've talked about the habits. Now it's time to talk about something far more important. What can you actually do? Because information alone doesn't change your future. Action does. The good news is, you don't need a perfect financial plan. You don't need to understand every investment. And you definitely don't need to become rich overnight. You simply need a system. One that works quietly in the background while you continue living your life. Let's build that system together. Step 1. Know exactly where your money goes. This sounds simple,
But most people over 50 couldn't tell you where every dollar went last month. Not because they're careless. It's about creating a simple system that supports you while life stays busy.
Money leaves in small amounts. A coffee here.
A subscription there. An online purchase that seemed harmless. Individually, none of them look important. Together, they can become hundreds of dollars every month.
For the next 7 days, write down every expense.
Every single one. Don't judge yourself. Don't try to change anything yet. Just observe. Because you can't improve what you don't measure. Step 2. Pay yourself first. Most people save whatever is left at the end of the month. Here's the problem. There's almost never anything left. Instead, treat your savings like a monthly bill. Just like electricity. Just like your mortgage. Just like your insurance. The moment your paycheck arrives, move a small amount into a separate retirement account. It doesn't have to be a large amount. The habit matters more than the number. Because consistency beats intensity. A small amount every month for years will almost always outperform one big deposit that never happens. Step 3. Protect what you've already built. Many people spend decades saving money, but only minutes thinking about protecting it. Ask yourself, do you have enough emergency savings? Is your insurance still appropriate? Do you have an updated will? Have you named beneficiaries on your accounts? These conversations aren't exciting, but they're some of the most valuable conversations you'll ever have. Real financial freedom isn't just growing wealth, it's protecting it. Step 4. Keep learning. The world changes. Tax laws change. Investment options change. Healthcare costs change. The people who enjoy retirement the most are usually the people who never stop learning. You don't need to spend hours every day. Just 20 minutes each week. Read one article. Watch one educational video. Learn one new financial idea. Small knowledge, repeated over time, creates better decisions. And better decisions create a better future. Step 5. Picture the person you're doing this for. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. Maybe you're sitting on your porch with a cup of coffee. Maybe you're traveling with your spouse. Maybe you're playing with your grandchildren. Or maybe you're simply enjoying a peaceful morning without worrying about bills. That future version of you is real. They're waiting for the decisions you make today. Every dollar you save, every unnecessary purchase you avoid, every smart decision you make is a gift you're sending to that future person. And I promise you, one day they'll be grateful you started. Not because you became rich, but because you gave them something money alone can't buy. Peace of mind. In the next and final part, we're going to bring everything together. I'll leave you with one simple idea that I hope stays with you every time you think about retirement. Because sometimes, one decision made on an ordinary day can completely change the rest of your life.